two mums, two beardless mums. If your dad doesn't have a beard, you've got two mums, two beardless mums.
Mr. President.
Hey, StooDogg.
They've gone to literal internet war. Who's the bad guy?
Duh.
Should we get involved in the war?
You wanna fucking do a war?
Maybe we should try and keep the peace and prevent a full-blown war. Mr. President.
That can't be helped. Ensign, lay in a course. Warp factor 8.
Aye, sir.
We're going to assume the mission and risk a war. Perhaps prevent one.
Into each life some rain must fall. The too much is falling in my...
Ladies and gentlemen, I am StooDogg and my lighting is fucking atrocious. Don't at me. We're here today to talk about some drama involving two good friends of mine. One Mr. Logical Phallusy and one Mr. Rogue Internet Man.
Those dear hearts and gentle people will never ever let you down.
Who both have gotten themselves involved in quite a pickle. Well, I aim to be entirely fair with this and to talk about this in a non-dramatic, non-committal, non-side-taking sort of way, because in all honesty, I view myself as being on both sides of this coin, or perhaps walking a fine line down the middle of it. Anyway, myself and Rogue Internet Man appear together on Kadenza's Out of This World podcast. I even have the t-shirt. It's a pretty cool t-shirt designed by a lady called Asterik. If you'd like to buy yourself one, link in the description. Anyway, Rogue Internet Man and Logical Phallusy, and also goes by the name of Thomas Beckett on YouTube. Well, last week Rogue was involved in an automobile accident. Destroying the vehicle, however, causing very little damage to himself. Personally, I'm glad the man is still alive. The world would be a slightly more boring place without his unique sense of humour. Lucky for him that the passenger compartments of automobiles are designed to essentially keep the occupant as in one piece as is possible after going through such an accident. Following this, knowing that he was pretty much out of a vehicle for whatever length of time, he did put a note online saying that during this hard time, any contributions financially to help him out with food, costs of a new vehicle, and whatever other expenditures he has, because he knew he would be out of work for a while. Potentially the cost of a new vehicle may be more than whatever insurance payout he may get due to excesses, anything like that. A little bit of extra cash in his pocket would be welcome during this time. Enter stage left, Logical Phallusy. I can disclose that Logical did approach me in a private message stating that he was suspicious of Rogue's accident and his current medical status, feeling that after such a crash Rogue would be a lot more injured than he claiming to be fine. I initially laughed this off. I posted a few photos that I'd seen and I stated that I believe that Rogue actually has been in an accident of some kind. And I initially thought that that would be the end of it, until I then heard that Logical Phallusy had made a public comment on a thread somewhere, or on YouTube somewhere, stating that Rogue must have collided with a truck full of manure because of the amount of bullshit that was being smelled at that time. Well, fuck.
Well, shit.
That's perhaps not the most diplomatic thing for Logical Phallusy to have said. Throughout my time on YouTube, I have attempted to abide by a code that is used by a YouTuber that I respect, a man who goes by the name of Sid Alpha. And what Sid Alpha says is to always trust, but verify. So if you see something that you believe is too good to be true, or too bad to be true, believe it. But also seek to prove it to yourself before making any rash actions. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what I believe has happened here. There has been a rash action by a man. We are all human beings, and we are all capable of doing stupid things. We are all capable of failures, and it is my thorough belief that even today, 6 days later, I still hold this belief to be the best way for these two gentlemen to work their way through their problems and to go forward. I believe the best thing for Logical Phallusy to do to help to defuse and disarm this entire situation is to simply just apologise and leave it at that. Now, in the last week, several days, Saturday, Sunday, Logical did make an apology. However, this apology, I've read over it again today, is not in fact an apology. It is what would be termed as a non-apology. He issued his apology and then proceeded off into a ramble of just, I don't even know how to describe the things that he said.
He took us honky-tonkin' on a Saturday night. We met Philly Millie, everything was alright. Her eyes started rolling, we should've went a bowling. Bam, bam.
Who's that saying? My.
Well, Sam and Philly Millie, about 3:45, was romping and a stomping on a hardwood floor. Long came Flirty Birdie marching in on the fun. Philly Millie got jealous and she pulled out a gun. Table started crashing, 44s a flashing, blam bam.
Who's that saying? My.
Well, the police, fire chief, highway patrol, knocking down the front door with a big long pole. Sammy was a lying on the cold, cold floor, shot through the middle with a 44. Millie was a crying, Sam was surely dying, blam bam.
Who's that saying? My.
But then this whole situation has developed arms and legs. Around about 18 months ago, during the whole Oxhorn thing, quite frankly, to me, it doesn't matter. I don't really care about something which happened 18 months ago. People change. Time moves on. And ultimately, that incident involving fake accounts, fake profiles, people going by fake names, people going by aliases. Who cares? So, it does not matter. All that can be proven is that Rogue has multiple profiles on multiple platforms with multiple different names. I don't see where that can lead. Logical Phallusy also goes into the fact that Rogue Internet Man no longer covers things related to the YouTuber Oxhorn. Well, in all honesty, Rogue is a man with a business, a brand. The direction he wants to take his channel is no one else's business. And as for saying Rogue's community of his channel is only there because of Oxhorn drama, well, I would disagree with that, stating that Rogue seemed to earn himself quite a large following coming from covering Christian Weston Chandler. If you were to ask me anything about Rogue's Oxhorn videos, can't even think about what they were off the top of my head. Can't remember a single one. I remember the videos that were made by SLB Productions, especially the one when he went to war with Oxhorn and you saw him running across a field carrying a toy gun. I can remember watching videos by TKS Mantis involving Oxhorn drama. He had several of them. I even saw him being mentioned in a Discord server that was trying to make Fallout 2 in 3D. When someone had mentioned TKS Mantis, and someone else responded, "Oh yeah, that guy that always follows the Oxhorn stuff." I do not know what direction Logical Phallusy would have people take the Oxhorn drama on YouTube. Quite frankly, I believe that at this point, it has been entirely exhausted. In fact, let's go back in time and see what I had to say in the past on the matter.
Tell me, doctor, where are we going this time? Is this the 50s or 1999?
Well, I don't know, but I've been told uranium ore is worth more than gold.
Oh, why, hello! Didn't see you there. It's me, it's StooDogg from the past. Jolly nice to see you. If I'd have known I was having guests, I would have put the kettle on. Nice cup of tea, perhaps some potato scones, something like that. Yes, I had very little knowledge that you were going to be coming here to see me today. I understand that my future self informed you that I had some views on the Oxhorn opinion, the Oxhorn conundrum, the Oxhorn stratagem, you might say. Well, yes, I do. I do have some opinions to share with you. And I would love to share my threepence halfpenny on the matter, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look at what I said, shall we?
What I would say is that these points appear to be several years old. Now I put across this point, do people change? You know, I'm a fan of Fallout New Vegas, and in Fallout New Vegas, in the game, after a long time of play, when you reach level 50, you can earn a trait called Ain't Like That Now. Ain't Like That Now. So is it possible that Oxhorn ain't like that now? Oxhorn has been accused of using the YouTube copyright strike system to illegally DMCA entire channels as well as to take down videos. It has also been noted that he may be doing this to silence criticism upon him, which would breach the fair use defense and break the US law. If anything, such criticisms of him may venture into defamation. So therefore Oxhorn should be pursuing a defamation complaint, not a copyright one. And if the videos and content which he has struck were found to be defamation, then YouTube would deal with them. Following a link that I found on Reddit, I followed the link and I found a lack of a video, a black screen with a copyright takedown notice. A copyright claim by Oxhorn LLC, Oxhorn Limited Liability Company. Therefore, if Oxhorn is pursuing copyright takedowns as a company, that would mean that he has a lawyer or perhaps a legal team. If he's using the law in this manner, it would behoove him to have a lawyer. In fact, it would be irresponsible not to have a lawyer or a legal team if he is acting in such an aggressive manner throughout the YouTube. Therefore, if he has sought legal advice on the matter, it is entirely possible that he may be in the right. He may be acting in the faith that he believes that he is in the right, and he may in fact be acting lawfully. The only real way to prove or disprove this would be for the channels affected to take him to court over the matter. Essentially, to take him to court over damages and loss of earnings and loss of a brand on YouTube.
So that's what I said, here in the past, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, we just put this here so it's there in the future. Don't want to cause a time paradox. None of that Metal Gear Solid stuff going on here. Anyway, I'm going to send you back to the future now.
Take me away, I don't mind, but you better promise me I'll be back in time. I gotta get back in time.
So I feel that the fact of bringing up things that happened 18 months ago ain't like that now. The fact that Rogue doesn't seem to have any Oxhorn content on his channel ain't like that now. The fact that Rogue doesn't seem to want to cover Oxhorn, it's his channel, he can do what he wants. If he wants to become a Tibetan flute player, then that's up to him. Logical also seems to have the assistance and friendship of a fellow who goes by the name of Choo Choo Train. Choo Choo Train apparently being a North British Ginty class locomotive built in 1923 and still existing to this day, having been preserved in the UK by a private owner. I'm unsure if that actual train is actually behind the account. It might be a person, I don't know. What I do know though is that this Choo Choo Train fellow was seen threatening to dox people. Logical, my friend. If I was you, I would step away from this guy and consider any information and any news and anything he says to you to be unreliable information.
I saw the tactical communiques, the records, timetables for completion.
Is it possible they could have been feeding you disinformation?
All the communiques, all the timetables, all the records, they're all fiction.
They let you escape with an arsenal of worthless secrets.
Gentlemen, the best thing that can happen right now would be for Logical Phallusy to simply apologise to Rogue and leave it at that. You do not have to see Rogue as accepting your apology. You merely have to give the apology and stop doubling down on crazy shit like threatening to dox Rogue. You need to stop with the sex shaming of Rogue, the virgin shaming of Rogue, whatever you want to call it. The sexual humiliation has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that you're quite simply a man who was in the wrong. You made an accusation that he was lying when he was telling the truth.
Don't
Don't you see, Admiral? You're fighting the wrong war.
All you need to do is apologise for that. It really is as simple as that. Or, let's have a look into the future and see what would happen if you continued on this path. It would be all over the Kiwi farms. And logical, you'd end up with the sort of following that you don't want. Is that what you want? I don't think it is. As far as I see it, you said a dumb thing. Which, we all say dumb things. But after saying a dumb thing, you continued to say more dumb things. Which we have all done. I'm guilty of that. But when I realise that I've done something dumb, I do hold my hands up and hold myself accountable for it and say, look, I'm sorry for doing the dumb thing. So logical. Stop being illogical and apologise to Rogue for doing a dumb thing. Apologise for accusing the man of lying, and apologise for your actions thereafter. You don't need to give an exhaustive list of such actions. A simple, I'm sorry, and I'm going to walk away from this situation would suffice.
And you'll find happy times.
Unless you're going to turn him into the new Oxhorn. And logical, my friend, if you try and do that, I don't think it's going to go well for you.
Y'all are just crazy.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is but one man's opinion. And as they say, opinions are like arseholes. Everybody has one. I have been StooDogg, and I'll catch you next time. And hopefully I can get back to producing some normal fucking content that I want to produce. And get away from this fucking J Station and fucking rogues and logical fallacies dramas. You know, I've been planning this series called Florida Man, which is basically about Florida Man. It's always in the fucking news, and fucking Florida is always a place where fucking crazy shit always happens, all the fucking time. And that is an epic idea for a series, but all of these idiots just fucking out doing stupid things.
And rambling road, I feel so welcome each time that I return, that my happy heart keeps laughing like a clown.
Toodle pip, old chaps. Toodle pip.
They have things like the atom bomb,
So I think I'll stay where I am.
civilization. I'll stay right here.
And that's all she wrote.